Hi, I'm Alex Weathersby, and this is my web series review for Dear Natalie. Since Dear Natalie is a TV-style web series that is based off Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, I thought I would do this review while wearing my Christmas sweater that my sister got me. It says Team Rudolph, so thought that'd be fun. So the plot of Dear Natalie, she's a popular vlogger. This is several years after she has sort of hit the peak of her fame, and she's trying to sustain that. And it shows how her quest for views has threatened her friendships during this holiday season. So some things that I liked about this web series: I have never seen A Christmas Carol be chosen as the work to derive the web series from before, so I thought that that was really creative. There's definitely a lot of books and plays and concepts that are very, very popular to do web series from, anything involving Shakespeare or Jane Austen. So it was really nice to see a work that doesn't really fit the typical idea of what people choose to do a web series on. I really liked how this web series also went very modern with the concept of YouTube vlogging. That is a very new sort of way to achieve fame, and I've always found it very interesting how the YouTube community has created this sort of pseudo-intimacy. Like I said in my review of Barbell, just this idea that your audience and your consumers are your best friends and they're accessing this part of you that is so genuine, but at the same time that content is still being edited, so it's this intimacy that's still being crafted. So it's not quite as genuine as I think it's presented. And so I think that that was also very interesting to see how that very modern form of celebrity was played within this web series that's based on an extremely well-known and popular Christmas story. In the original Christmas Carol, Ebenezer Scrooge is visited by three ghosts, technically four, but main three ghosts take him to his past, his present, and his future to sort of show where his actions came from and how they have been affecting and will affect other people in his life. And the way that this web series chose to portray that I thought was very cool. The use of the computer as sort of a framing device for the past, present, and future, and old YouTube videos that Natalie has on her channel. I thought that was incredibly smart, and I thought it really did a great job of showing visually how Natalie has changed throughout her time as a YouTube vlogger, as opposed to it being told to us by everybody else. So I thought that that was very well done. I really enjoyed that element of this web series. I also, on that note, felt that the obsession with YouTube sponsors representing the corruption of greed was also very, very interesting. It really connected modern representations of an old concept or a very historical concept. I also really liked the representation of this web series. I felt that having Natalie's main relationship that sort of carried her through her whole life, the relationship that she's really going to lose from her actions, having that be a friendship. And specifically having that friendship be between two Black women or two women of color, I just felt that that was a really wonderful choice, because I think that friendships between women, friendships between people who have marginalized identities or who exist in a world where general society does not support them or give them a lot of opportunities, that adds so many layers to why friendship and support and community is such a huge part of your identity and such a huge part of your healing and your healthy existence in the world. So I really felt that that added an extra layer, at least for me, to what Natalie is losing. It really helped heighten the stakes of this friendship that she has that is being degraded by her selfishness and her refusal to give back the support that she has gotten. Some things that I felt could have been done better with this web series: I felt that, especially towards the beginning with the dialogue, there was a lot of telling and not so much showing. So I really felt that the use of the computer in the old YouTube videos did a really great job of that, so I would have liked to see that be more consistent in the beginning before we really start getting into those ghosts coming in. one of my pet peeves is this whole like, oh, well, as you know, or we've been friends for this many years. It just comes off very much like it's for audience benefit. I also really would have liked to know about Natalie's family. We get a few hints. She's been very solitary in her life. She hasn't had a lot of people she feels like she could depend on in her life. But I would have really liked to maybe have seen that firsthand. What her family thinks of her vlogging career, what her family thinks of her internet fame, what her family thinks of her videos. Do they even watch her videos or know they exist? I think that that would have really done a lot for me in terms of background as to why she got caught up in the YouTube fame, what holes she's trying to fill there with that fame. I would watch this web series if you don't mind long episodes. For example, the third episode of this web series is about 20 minutes long. That's not particularly common with literary-based web series, especially when they're vlog-based. A lot of web series are, although this series is TV style, the vlogs are more of an in-universe thing. Typically with literary-based web series, the episodes are not that much longer. Usually people try to stay around or under 10 minutes. If you don't really mind that, then this would be a good web series for you. If you like modern twists on classics, as I've said before, this web series does a really great job of taking very old concepts of greed and community and selfishness and charity and your true self that you're showing to people versus the facade, and uses very modern elements of today's celebrity and today's fame and today's internet culture. If you're really interested in a modern twist on those old classics that goes a little bit deeper than maybe some other literary web series do, then this is a really good web series for you to watch. And also, if you're looking for representation that is focused on main characters, not just the errant side character, or out of 10 people in a room, we have 4 of them are people of color and 10 of them are women, so we're good. I've watched over 100 web series, and I can only think of a handful of them that had a person of color, and a woman of color especially, as a main character. I think that that definitely says a lot about the type of person that a lot of people think is main character worthy, and I think that that's definitely something that needs to be critiqued and thought about in our community. Who do we choose as a Lizzie Bennet versus who we choose as a Charlotte? What type of person do we see as a Miss Jennings versus a Eleanor Dashwood? And I think that this would be a good web series for you to watch if you really want to see Black women being treated with the same complexity that we don't see very often, even in the web series community. I would skip this series if you're really looking for something that has multiple seasons and the whole story essentially of A Christmas Carol has been told. So if you're looking for something that's maybe more based on an original concept or has a lot more layers to it in terms of taking the story way beyond the confines of the original work, then this might not be the web series for you. I know that some people really like bingeable things that they can watch in a week, and some people want maybe more of a commitment. So this isn't a web series that is currently airing and has a long way to go in terms of completely wrapping up its storyline. I would also probably skip this web series if you're looking for more of a true vlog series. While vlogs are extremely important to the plot of the story, the majority of the content that we see is sort of as third-party fly on the wall as a typical cinematic style series. So if you were really hoping for more of a direct vlog series from this, then that's not really what you're going to get. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. I will put the link to the web series in the description box. If you think that anything I said was off base, or you feel like I forgot something that you really enjoyed noticing this web series, then please feel free to comment on it, and I will see you next time.